Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real.
Yo, what is up, my fellow artists? It is Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here to save you from your art sins. And welcome back to another art stream where we improve our art and get some work done and co-work together. Welcome back in. Hopefully everyone's doing pretty good tonight. And if you are doing good, say so down below. And if you're not, let me know what's going on. What is happening? What are some new updates, things you're working on, things that you aren't working on, and how is life in general? Now, today we are going to be drawing some more Sonic characters, and we are going to be doing some sketching, doodling, and maybe doing a little bit of some fashion design as well if we have time for that. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the stream on my phone so I can look at what is happening in the chat, if there's anyone there. If there is anyone here, what's up, y'all? What's good? We're going to hop right into the stream. Okay, yeah, I see a few people. What's up, Warrior Heart? Hello, hello. And Mav, welcome in. Hello. And Thero, what's up? What's good? What's good, homie? Thero is over here posting some beautiful art. If you do not follow Thero, then they have a YouTube account, so click on their name and check out their work. Alright, Maeve says that I'm working on anatomy, especially like the knees. That is a very interesting location to study because it is kind of challenging, especially how the muscles form into it, and then the knee kind of gets defined differently depending on whether the leg is like extended or crunched up. And there's just so many interesting shapes that happen depending on the movement of it and the motion of it. Here are some anatomy studies that I was working on, just trying to draw bigger people, and I'm trying to make sure I have a lot of variety in my artwork. And sometimes I use myself as the reference anatomy, simply because I can rotate myself around and I can really get a feel for it. But now I'm trying to really branch out now that I'm getting comfortable. Really just trying to get comfortable with drawing more and more things, right? Okay, so those are some style studies. Here's where some pictures I was drawing off of Pinterest. Sketches. We're going to come back to that stuff. And here's a little bit of Western fashion designs that I was doing as well. And off of that, we do have a brush pack that I have released, and you guys can purchase and buy the brushes that I use. They're my main ones that I go to, which is some line work type brushes, some pixel line art brushes. This is some pixel art, and just a bunch of just ones that I use all the time for sketching and creating some final line work and art. And so if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to check it out. I'm also going to try to do a better job at linking this stuff when I stream and while I stream. But yes, the music that we're listening to in the background is some Genshin Impact if you are curious. Again, I'm going to just try to get better and better at linking this stuff. So, with that being said, let's actually do that. I actually don't want to click on that. I'm going to click on links. And I want to click on this button. I'm going to click on this. Okay, so yeah, I made a little bit of illustration here for the brush pack, and I now have that uploaded online, ready to go. But yes, today the bulk of it, we are going to be working on the rest of these Sonic characters. Currently we have Sonic, Tails, and Amy. Each of them are going to receive some polish, but Sonic stickers are going out next month for my newsletter, so be on the lookout for that. I've been struggling on drawing. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I've been struggling on drawing or sketching out the form of the muscles. Like, I know where the muscles are, but I'm not sure how to add details. Yeah, that's a good thing to work on. I need to work on that myself. I know that when I do study that, I like to go to pictures of bodybuilders that are in good lighting, and I can kind of render from there just to understand the form and the detail a little bit better. So I would just keep on doing piece after piece until I'm starting to kind of understand how I particularly would want to render that. Okay, what else here? What else here? Yeah, so what currently are you using to study? I'm genuinely curious. Okay, so let's see. Yes, it is updated. We're going to start doing some sketches for Shadow and Knuckles now. Those are the next two characters that I'm going to be tackling in this set, in this series. So I just want to start off with some type of sketch. I have this idea that we're going to use kind of a fisheye lens perspective. So this kind of like circular lens. And so we're going to be kind of looking down at Shadow, the hedgehog. He's going to have his spikes. I don't need to be detailed right now, right? And his body, he's going to be walking forward, and he's going to be having his, he's got his guns, okay? I'm not a very, I don't really like guns like that, but, you know, we're going to do his character justice. So he's going to be walking forward with his guns or something like this, kind of in a using this kind of lens. Alright, we're going to go in there and refine it more, so do not worry so much about that. We're going to be getting to that. Oh, also, there's a lot of work that I'm going to need to be doing for it, but I am creating a Discord server, and I'm going to try to have all the channels locked besides the art dump. But I did want to create a Discord server where people could share their artwork during stream and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and link that. Let's see how we can do this. I think if I invite people, or I can create like an invitation link. I'm going to go ahead and put this in chat. Alright, now Knuckles, I'm thinking of two things for Knuckles. I feel like he's either going to be crossing his arms, or he's going to be kind of putting both of his fists together or something like that. Now personally, I like Knuckles when he's got his little cowboy hat on. I think that's typically like I just like that version of it, of Knuckles. I think that looks the coolest of all his variations. But I'm going to spend some time just maybe working with some poses and having fun with it, getting used to the shapes of Knuckles, as it may be. And I don't know, we might need some more area to draw, to be honest. Let's go ahead and create a new sheet for this. Alright, so I know what we're going to be working on first and foremost is not going to be that crazy. So hang in there until we get to the more exciting artwork. We got to just get some sketching done first though. We got to get these concepts figured out. Anyways, let me check back on the chat. It says, I just find on Pinterest like really buff dad guys. You know, that's a good reference to have, you know. You know, like whatever works, whatever is easiest to see the definition and the body types that you're trying to, you know, currently improve and work on drawing. It's like you can get references from anywhere. You can use yourself, you can use Pinterest. It all just depends what you're trying to create and what you're trying to learn. I don't think there's ever like a, you know, this is always better than this type of thing. It's like you really have to think about what it is that you're trying to do with your artwork and then take it from there. Okay, so I really like the energy that this person had when creating this pose, and I'm currently struggle with keeping that same kind of energy. But they have like a good forward momentum with what they've created, and that's what I'm trying to emulate. Not doing the best job yet, but that's what I'm trying to understand. So again, when I start drawing a character, the thing that I want to understand is their forms first and foremost. So like, even though I'm not getting this perfectly right, I'm just kind of getting a feeling for what this character is. Has anyone in the chat done like a life drawing class in actual, like in real life? I always use like the online tools to to kind of practice and whatnot. And I'm curious if people have done it in person, if it's been a little bit more helpful to study anatomy and things like that. Alright, so Knuckles' body is kind of like this pentagonal, like, bean shape, to be honest with you. And Sonic characters are always kind of deceptively hard to draw, because even though they're so simple, just one wrong thing and it can like look completely wrong, or something can seem off about it. And that's already happened with some of the pieces that I was working on before. And so it's like, even though they're like really simple, you have to get it just right, or else it'll look weird. When I was younger, I did this pastel art coloring class, and my teacher was so talented. I always made good art pieces with their help. That's really cool. Like, I've had art teachers before, and they would just kind of teach us the basics and whatnot. I can't say like I ever really like improved a ton from them, but it must be like really nice to have a mentor teacher that can really guide you along in the process. That's very cool that you had someone like that helping you create pieces that you're really proud of and whatnot. I will say that most of my art teachers were pretty chill though, So I typically enjoyed art class. It was usually the easiest part of my day, so. Was that class in like college or was that in grade school? And I really want to learn how to do more like traditional painting with like oil paints or acrylics. I'm not sure which one I would want to try to learn first. Um, but I think it'd be really cool to just have that skill and with mixing colors and whatnot. And I feel like it'll give me a better understanding when it comes to like coloring digitally as well. Oh, it was an after school activity. That makes sense. You have a little bit more time for that personal instruction. That's really cool. That's what's up. Hmm. Okay, so we are starting to come up with poses. Still a lot of work probably to go. So I think I'm just gonna do a bunch of sketches and then leave it like that. Maybe come back a little bit later in the session to refine them. But I think I'm not gonna take it too far to begin with. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so the Discord's gonna need some definitely some work, some moderation, and also some get some of the bosses get some of the bots and commands going. But I'm gonna start it off very, very, very simple, and there's only gonna be the art post, I think, because I know over time it's gonna be hard to like moderate things and this and that. So I'm not gonna try to take on too much at once. It's gonna be mainly for these people here on stream, and then as I slowly build it out, I'm gonna advertise it more and more. But the other purpose for it is going to be for the people that have subscribed to my newsletter, and basically we're going to do like monthly chats and whatnot, talking about art business, talking about more so like learning how to draw and advice in that regards, and how to improve, and just one-on-one feedback, kind of that kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, this is what we're doing. Something like this for this character, something like this. All right. Yeah, well, that's what I'll use it for. Let me know if you can post art in the art dump section. You can post something there. There's also an introduction channel, where I'm gonna have people introduce themselves and just be able to give a quick blurb about who they are, and then link maybe just a couple of their social media accounts, just so everyone can kind of get connected and whatnot. So there's that, and there's the art dump. So feel free to see if you can post in either of those. You shouldn't be able to post in the rules or the welcome, I don't think. Hopefully not. I may not have restricted access to that yet, but I'm just gonna slowly build this out over time, and get feedback from people that are using it over time. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so I have some sketches. Some of these sketches aren't the best sketches. I'm not gonna hold you guys on that, but we just need to start. gonna see if we can hop into a chill hop Spotify and see if we can listen to some chill hop radio. I'm technically supposed to be able to use this without getting copyrighted strike, but it didn't matter. I've been getting strikes for that too. So I'm still trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. So we're going to copy and paste this. We're just going to work with this a little bit, maybe like 9 minutes. And then I think we're going to work on this JoJo's piece that I was starting to get going in an earlier stream. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to chisel out some of these shapes. So we use this tool now. Again, still keeping this very light and loose as a sketch. Okay, so So as you guys can see, like I really like to use this process where I just kind of sculpt out the character through something that's, you know, got much heavier line work, and I just work down into a more refined thing. So yeah, I kind of just go in and keep on adding a little bit of detail and information here and there. But yeah, I make it just a little bit better at a time. I don't try to make like everything look good from the beginning. I just slowly try to build out the shapes and the geometries that make, you know, said character, and then hopefully it kind of warps into something by the end. But yeah, kind of compare the one to the left to the one to the right, and you can kind of see already some of that progress being made. And this is how I kind of come up with poses and stuff from my mind. I allow it to develop over time. Okay, so I think we got a little bit of an idea for Knuckles and a little bit of idea for Shadow. Again, this is what we did for Sonic here. Added in a lot of fun little bits here and some texture and whatnot. And then this is currently what Tails is looking like. We're going to do some changes here. We're going to give him, I think, a tool belt and some shorts, maybe, something like that. We'll see. I guess I could just doodle something on top really quickly. So we could create a new layer, and then I could bring out my color fill pen, and what I would imagine I would use is some sort of khaki color in this case. And we would create some kind of shorts that would go over this area, so we can add in this tool belt. You know, and the important part about doing art sometimes, guys, is just having fun with it and not trying to create again, these perfect line arts and things. You're just trying out different shapes and things and methods of construction, simply because you want to test out how things look, and so you just want to have fun seeing what it could be. Okay. And it's okay to like not keep some of your ideas. And then what we can do is you could add in something like that. Okay, looking good. We can add in another layer here. We're gonna get this a darker brown maybe, and add this kind of tool pocket holder here to the side now. That goes down. maybe we could add something to this side as well. Now, what if we gave him kind of like a black tank top? Alright, and just that quick, we have kind of changed the whole kind of feel of this. And it's going to be a quick way to test out some ideas without getting too invested just yet, you know what I mean? And then you can kind of click it on and off. And you can see if you like those changes or not. Yeah, so I'm doing a whole bunch of thumbnails for sketches for sure. So typically when I do thumbnails for a character that is not mine, I try to do some sketches of that character from the show, or from some reference images I can find online, just to get the proportions and feelings of it right. And once I do that, then I create my own thumbnails for a pose that I would personally like to do. So I just started coming up with this Knuckles pose myself because I wanted his arms to be crossed. And so that's what I've come up with so far. Okay, I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time kind of working through some, working on some line work now. Give me 1 second. What is your guys' favorite part in the drawing process? Is it the coming up with the ideas? Is it the line work? Is it the coloring phase? Like what draws you into art? What keeps you motivated to keep coming back to it? Okay, so yeah, we spent some time doing some sketching. Now let's spend some time doing some line work. I just like creating stuff in general. Like it's fun. I like the sketching and rendering stage. I'm gonna respond to that in just a second. Hold on. So yeah, personally, I do like this sketching and the rendering phase. I guess it depends how much I have to do of it for each. Like both of them are fun. However, like my brain can get tired doing one thing or the other. I probably can do rendering and stuff for quite a while before I get burnt out. But what I get burnt out more fast is with concepting stuff and sketching stuff when I'm like trying to bring stuff out of my mind. If I'm just drawing and sketching stuff from references just to kind of get the flow and feel for things, I can do that probably for a good 3-4 hours. But if I'm trying to do stuff from my head, probably got like an hour tops. And like honestly, like this was, and it's even more difficult to do it on stream because there's something about streaming that does take a little bit extra kind of mental energy from you. So yeah, me kind of throwing those sketches together was like, okay, that's enough. Let me switch into some line work now. That's why we're working on some lines. My favorite part of drawing might be, I don't know, I really do like the line art phase and seeing that line art come together. But then if I am going to color a piece on top of that, I always get frustrated because I feel like my line work doesn't come through as much as it was when I was doing the line work, because like the colors then take the stage. So there's that. But yeah, I really do like the line work stage of things. It's fun to render. But I'm starting to learn now though that maybe I shouldn't spend too much time on the line art phase if I'm planning on coloring. Because a lot of that line art is going to disappear or be colorized. So like now I'm learning to create the line art really quickly and then the coloring really quickly just to get both of them down onto the page, so then I can start seeing what parts of the lines I really need to go into and which ones not so much. What's like the maximum amount of time that you guys have been able to focus in on a drawing in like one setting? I think I need some help with the face proportion in my sketches. What kind of help? Like feedback on it, or like you just need to watch more videos or do some more practices? I think I sat for like 2 hours on rendering. 2 hours on rendering. That's pretty long, honestly. Man, I remember this. This was not in one sitting, but I remember I was working on this comic page, and it took me about 20 hours because I was trying this new perspective, and I was learning how to do perspective still, and I was also trying all these new coloring techniques and stuff that I was trying to learn at the time. And it was tough. It was tough. I learned a lot for sure, but it definitely took quite a bit out of me at the same time. And it's like sometimes this is why I kind of do this now, but I used to be really keen on trying to make something look really good instead of spending time getting a lot more like repetitions drawing something, which I think now is more important. And also when I look back on it, I'm like, well, I tried so hard to make this look really good, and like it is still not very good line work wise and everything else wise. So it's like I feel like there's a limit, there's a cap on your ability at specific points in times. So instead of trying to like push past that cap by spending more time with something, it's probably better to focus on specific techniques or fundamentals that are just going to make your art stronger at the end of the day. And I'm more so just speaking to myself right now rather than trying to give that advice out, but it is something that I've been kind of figuring out a lot more. And because at first I thought it was like, oh, it's just me being impatient and like wanting to like move on to other drawings and whatnot. And it's like some of that is true, and like you do need to take your time somewhat. But I've never had a problem taking my time with something. And usually it's the opposite. I spend too much time with something. So, you know, you need to know where you're coming from in terms of that. Like, do you typically spend too much time or too little time? And then you'll know kind of how to gauge that. But that's just something that I kind of noticed for myself, something that I've been more conscious about, and also have kind of talked about in other streams more, of like me needing to speed up and just learn more things and how to draw more things rather than just spending so much time on one particular piece. But it is good time to spend. It is good to spend time on your pieces though, and to really refine it. Don't get me wrong. I just need a different perspective because let's see what this is. I wish I could get rid of this heart button, because in looking at my sketch and something feels off. Oh, okay. Well, shoot, you can put it in the Discord, art down, and maybe I'll put it on screen for a little bit. We can talk about it. Okay, I think I heard like a ding or something in the Discord server. Oh dang, this artwork is looking really good. Yes, it did send. Let me bring this on screen just so people can see it. Honestly, I don't even know if I'll be able to have any feedback. Let's see what we can do here. So let's bring this onto the screen. Where'd it go? There we are. Why is it? Oh, I see. I have it flipped the other way. Okay. Okay. So I think what's going on is it has something to do with the eyes and the hair. So first of all, I just want to say that this piece looks awesome. I'm gonna try something and you can let me know if it made it look worse or better. But yes, let's just take a quick look at this. I'll make it kind of like a 5-minute thing. First of all, I'm gonna do a quick draw over in red, just to demonstrate maybe some points here. Okay, so first things first is that we need to understand the structure of the face here, and I think for the most part that you do understand the structure, but anyways, he's kind of looking down, so there's that center line, and then here's this center line right here. Okay, so I think your center line's looking pretty good, but where I think it's kind of getting lost is right here in this hairline. This line and this line, these two lines should be parallel. So I think on this side, this hairline needs to be brought down just a little bit. Okay. So that's the main thing that I see. Now, as you know, like, my art is very stylized, so, you know, take how I change these facial proportions with a grain of salt, because I'm not drawing realism like you are. The second thing that I kind of noticed is the same thing with like the chin. I think that also needs to be parallel. Okay. So like a little bit of correction there. And then I think the third thing is going to be this eye. So it looks like you've kind of drawn the eye like head on, where we're actually kind of looking at it in 3/4. So like eye would look like this head on, but then in 3/4. And you kind of start to get this. I see it, you're starting to do it, but then the eye is going to start looking like this. So this center curve starts being shifted kind of over here, and then they're looking back like this. Okay, and then I think that this eye is going to go a little bit farther out. So those are the 3 quote-unquote corrections that I would try out. Okay, so let's actually try doing that now. Okay, so those are my draw overs. So let's manipulate this now. What kind of brush do I want to use? I'll still use this brush. Okay, so that's your picture. Okay, so this hairline, let's drop this hairline down like I said. All right. And this cheek needs to, you might want to think about just bringing it down slightly. Okay. This chin needs to be, remember, parallel to all these lines that you've got going on. All right, so we're just gonna nudge that chin like so. And then this eye, we're going to, I'm not going to make too much changes to the eye, but we're going to bring that curve over slightly. to something like this. Okay, and by the way, like, I think what you have is really good. So, like, you know, take what I'm saying right here with a big old grain of salt. Maybe this isn't what you know, actually want to do. So this is just kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah, drop that hairline down a little bit. Okay. Something like that. Maybe even out the back of his head a little bit as well. I don't know. Okay, so anyways, this is before and after. But yeah, really, honestly, like, I think you're good with what you had. Yeah, those are the slight changes that I would make. Maybe that's why you think it looks off. Maybe. I don't know. You let me know. You let me know if that was helpful or not. I'll post it in the Discord server. All right. Oh, I see. Well, it looks good. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, let me know if that was helpful or not. Honestly, you got a really good sense of form and perspective, and like the hand is looking good. Like, you've got a lot of good stuff going. So nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. Yeah, you can for sure send your clothing study as well. I think I'm gonna kind of focus a little bit on what I'm working on here, but that's what the Discord server's for. And as we get more people in there, there'll be more and more people to kind of like help critique / give feedback and that kind of thing. So and I'd love to give some feedback and critique. Obviously, like, I'm not going to be able to all the time because I'm going to be working on my own stuff and whatnot, but let's use it as a place to kind of learn from one another. So let's see here. Oh, also for those of you that don't know, Ignition, the story that I'm working on, I'm gonna start at least updating it again. It's gonna start detailing out one of the characters' introductions and their introduction arc. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that real quick. I'm gonna take, I think, a 10-minute break and play a round or two of Splatoon. And in the meantime, I'm gonna post that, and you guys can feel free to bookmark this page or subscribe if you're already on Comic Fury. And in doing so, you'll know each time I make an update with a new scene. And I've put a lot of work into it. I'm really excited about how it's coming out, and I honestly can't wait to see what I end up or what it ends up kind of becoming. There's a lot of character and a lot of story that I want to tell. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna close that up a little bit. also, I started playing a game called Persona, and I'm sure you guys already are aware, but I've never played this series before. This is my first foray into this series, and I'm kind of using it as a way to study up on some things, because my story is going to have a little bit of some similar things going on in terms of like a little bit of like formatting wise, and I'm really enjoying how they're kind of visualizing and telling story right now. I am creating somewhat of like a visual novel with Ignition, and I don't have any of the sample scenes up on my website anymore, but when I start updating again, that's definitely going to be there. And so I was like, you know what, I've spent a lot of time working on the story and whatnot, and I have it to a certain place, and I'm going to go back in and edit, of course, but I'm kind of a little bit now in that transition mode where I'm taking a break. I'm switching to some, other kind of work. And so I was like, this is a good time to try something different out. And typically I kind of like to read, whether it be articles or like manga before bed. So I'm going to try to kind of do this instead. This is going to be kind of like my replacement, as you will, something to kind of wind down. And it's so I actually did pick up Persona 5 because it was on sale at Target, and I like having the physical copies of games. There's just something nice about knowing that you can just take that anywhere. And I really should look into this aspect of it, but if I'm not mistaken, like, you can keep your save and whatnot, even if you're like playing on a different device. So if like I wanted to play on like a docked Switch, which I currently don't have, but in the future, if I, do end up getting a Switch that can dock, like, that would be really nice. But yeah, I got Persona 5 Battle Royale. I was impressed just from like the opening sequences that they had, and I thought that was really cool. So I'm interested to keep kind of playing into it. I'm completely new to the series though, so I'm not gonna lie, it seems like there's a lot going on that maybe I should have played the other games first, maybe not. It just seems like there's like a lot of there's like a lot to the world, and maybe that's the point. They'll kind of explain it as the game goes on. But when I had asked someone, they said that each game was its own storyline. So I don't know if that's true or not, but. Right. So is Persona 5 your personal favorite of the series? How many of the games have you played? And also, like, without any spoiler, like, what would you say the game's greatest strength is, or its greatest kind of like appeal factor? I only played Persona 5 like during quarantine. It was really fun. I was like struggling on the last two boss battles because some of my characters weren't strong enough. LOL. Yeah, so I'm getting the feeling that it's like an RPG where you're leveling up a cast of characters. Just from like some of the initial gameplay, but I'm not gonna lie. Like when the game first started out, they had you like do some kind of sample battle, and like they did not explain at all like what was happening and what button to press. I had like a couple of different options that I could do, and I just kept hitting attack because I didn't know what else to do. And I'm not really that avid of an RPG player. So yeah, I feel like this game is going to be like a bit of an introduction into that kind of realm of gaming. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know how much. I don't really have that much experience playing RPGs. I think the closest that I have is like the Mega Man Battle Network series, which I don't know. Like, would that be considered? Would that be considered kind of like in the same genre? I'm not really sure, because like the turn-based type of RPG, I haven't played that much of. Like, I really do want to get into like the Final Fantasy series, and I know some of those are kind of like turn-based-ish. Yeah, so that's a completely new style to me. I typically play like strategy games, which an RPG is a strategy game. Like, don't get me wrong. Um, but I play stuff like Advance Wars, Mega Man Battle Network, 2D side scrollers, like all the Mega Man games, pretty much. Some first person shooters. I'm playing Splatoon currently. Um, so, anyways, it should be fun. I'm excited to get into it because I've heard it's more like kind of story based, and I do like story based games. What's your guys' favorite video game of all time? I'm curious. You can attack by weapon or spell, or you can also escape battles at times. Alright, so, okay, real quick question. Is there anything that I should know that's not spoiler based as I'm starting out as a beginner Persona player? Was there anything like, oh, that would have been nice to know playing this game? Spoiler free. Probably Sly Cooper. I haven't played that game, but it does look like a lot of fun. Was that game more of like a platformer than anything? I just remember that being in like the entire era of like Jax and Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. But just based on the title, I imagine it would be somewhat of a platformer, and I don't even know if that's really true. Alright, here we go with the advice. Make sure to always save your progress, especially before boss battles, and collect a lot of health energy foods, drinks, since the health bar gets low quick from how strong the bosses are. Okay, that seems like pretty reasonable advice. Is there not an autosave feature for the game, or? Alright. I don't remember because it was a while ago, but it took me forever to finish the game. I've been hearing that it's like a long game or something. Like you got to put in hours and hours to complete it. Is that for like if you want to get all the challenges, or is that for the main game? Because I know a lot of people like to be completionists, and I know that can extend gameplay hours and whatnot, right? But is it like that regardless? That's what I'm kind of curious. like a weird line. Okay, so we're coming up here on our stream time here soon, but we're gonna kind of finish up the hair in this location, and we're gonna start to wrap up. Again, for those of you that are new here, I do these streams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and we're gonna get into like more and more stuff and topics as we go along. Currently, I'm building out some artwork for some art merch. I do have a show coming up that I want to prepare for as well, so feel free to come out and hang out as I get artwork done for that. Now, the rest of the stuff, the Sonic characters that you're seeing, that is for my monthly newsletter subscribers, and I'm going to be creating stickers for them. So yeah, each week we're going to try to get some artwork done, and we're going to learn. And so what I want to start doing, I haven't been able to post the schedule yet, but I do want to start posting a schedule for learning stuff, where we're going to do like learning streams where we're going to either learn like anatomy, or we're going to do some gesture drawing together, just different ways we can kind of improve our artwork, maybe some master studies, that kind of thing, just things that we can all work on, you know, together at the same time type of deal. And then we can use a Discord server to post our art and discuss and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. So yeah, feel free to subscribe and whatnot so you can be kept up to date on all things new. Yeah. And then, as you guys know, another big news, Ignition is coming, of course. That is on its way as well. So bookmark the website. April 1st. April 1st, that's like 3 days away, which is wild. But yes, that's about 3 days away now. So I will be uploading it to my website, so you know where to find it. I linked it. That's where it's going to be at. Like the main game, but if you want to enjoy the story too, it'll take a while. Wow, okay. Long main game. I kind of like that though. I don't like really short games where it's like 10 hours and you're done. I like to feel like, you know, we went on an actual like whole journey and we're like, you know, it's not over too quick. So I'm excited. I'll probably talk about it in, you know, upcoming streams that y'all know of my progress and whatnot. So I'm just going to go ahead and, well, maybe not. You don't have to scroll up too far. Well, I'm going to go ahead and actually just repost it. I'm going to repost the link for the Discord for people that are rewatching it back, just in case. But yeah, I'll check in on some of the stuff that you're posting here in a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. We've been drawing for about 2 hours. We did some sketching and we did some line work. And I think that is good enough for today. I think that's enough for today. We will finish with doing details and stuff at a later date. Okay, we are leaving for sure this time. So yeah, last little thought to clean up things here. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. you can find me here, drawing, working through stuff, whether it be design sketching, fashion sketches, whether it be creating some material for my online shop, or just doodling and having some fun. But what to look out for is going to be some draw along kind of lessons where we're learning stuff together. And feel free to check out my Discord server where we're going to kind of continue those conversations and stuff as well. And you'll be able to post some artwork there. Thank you guys so much for joining along and sketching with me, drawing with me. It was a lot of fun. And until next time, peace, love, and deuces.